Hi, Lou. Lou
Hi.
Olerio of Olerio Homes is with us. He's one of the most successful residential builders, luxury builders in Dallas. Talk to us. Tell us your story. Tell us what you're working on. Thank you for being here. We're so excited you said yes. We really appreciate you.
Of course.
Did you ever think you were going to be this big of a success? I mean, is it just in your sleep you're designing houses, or is it what's your, like, did you ever know you would be this successful?
No, I to be honest, no. I remember back in like 8 and 9 and 10, I was building in Lakewood, and I remember driving by some other builders' homes that were 800 or 900,000 at the time, and I was building homes that were 500, 600, and I said, man, I wonder if I'll ever build $1 million home, and
Look at you now.
Yeah, building $5-6 million homes.
What's trending with the new builds? Tell us what's trending. I'm talking lot size, aesthetics, kitchen pools. Like, tell us what's hot that we're not going to know about.
I think I think the gray and white era is kind of out. I've been doing a lot more higher end, neutral looking brick on the exterior, non-painted, non-white. Inside, been doing a lot more stain grade white oak on the cabinetry, beams. The flooring's gotten much lighter. 10 years ago, everybody wanted dark, hardwoods.
Yep.
Now everything's much lighter, whitewashed. Much more neutrals on the interiors in terms of tiles. Not everything's so stark white and gray. More, earth tones.
I love that. You're an SMU Mustang, right?
I am an SMU Mustang.
And what did you think about the news where SMU tried really hard to say, we don't call us the Mustangs or don't call us the ponies? You remember that?
No. So so for years, I think for 11 years, the SMU motto has been for athletic department, pony up.
Right. Pony up.
And
right. With this, pony up.
Yeah, pony up, pony up. Well, this has been around long before pony up. This has always been the pony years. And about a month ago, the athletic department and university came out and said, we're getting away from pony up. We want to do thunder on. And it's been very ill received.
There was some pushback is what you're saying.
Yeah, the student body, I think they did, the student senate did some kind of election. I don't know that a lot of the alumni are thrilled about it. I mean, I'll always say pony up. I'm never going to say thunder on.
Exactly.
Were you there when the football team was...
when they ponied up for the football team?
No, when the football...
I'm not that old. That was
80s.
That was late 80s.
Oh, okay. But are you loving the comeback now?
What's that?
Are you loving the comeback now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to...
Do you go to the game still?
I go to every game, every home game. I go to some of the away games. We're also a big sponsor of football and basketball. It's interesting to see over the last 25 years at Ford Stadium how, it's very apathetic fan base is probably the best term. And now you're finally getting people that are coming out, doing more than just a boulevard. They're actually coming to the game.
That's exciting. Talk to us about, you're not just one of Dallas's
Hey, Jen, could I interject for a second?
Yeah.
Does he know who we are? I mean, should we introduce ourselves, or does he know?
No, he knows who we
are. I know
Okay.
Jen personally.
We're buddies.
I know you're a broker, Bill Griffin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure who the other lady is.
I'm Jenny Thompson. Just
Jenny?
A friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Fellow podcaster.
Yes.
Yeah, we just wanted to introduce ourselves. We didn't want to be rude. We just wanted to say hi.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, and
Thank
you
for
also are an investor in Vandalay. Vandalay is the restaurant group. All the hot restaurants come from Vandalay.
I'm a limited partner in some of the restaurant deals. That's correct. I do investments in with Vandalay, with Greg Katz, and with Chaz and Benji over at Duro.
Which one? Well, tell us something hot that's coming to Dallas where you're allowed to spill the beans, but nobody knows yet. Is there
any of the concepts that are national concepts? I don't really know, and I know the local guys, and I know what they're kind of doing. I don't really know, I know like the Delilah and all that stuff, but it's coming. But I don't know anything that's not public. It's those investment groups are usually pretty close-lipped until they make an announcement.
Okay. Well, okay.
Which you said a limited partnership. Which ones are you a part of? With Vandalay?
Hudson House, Drake's, Mr. Charles, Beverly's, Greenpoint. I'm about 20 of them.
Like he's got the golden Midas touch. Whatever he touches turns to gold. Is what I've seen.
Let's not. That's right.
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
I think real estate. I got a pretty good instinct about where development trends are going, and I kind of knew 20-something years ago that west of Lovers, south of University was kind of the missing hole in the donut. That the location was perfect, but the existing inventory, there was none. It was a neighborhood that was hadn't been redeveloped.
Do you still have your properties of your first rentals that you had?
No, I've long since raised and developed those. I still own a 64-unit duplex community behind Sewell called East Love. I own that over there, and then I have about 25 lots that we're currently developing south of Lovers, north of Mockingbird.
Nice.
So it was over by that Providence school?
Yeah, south of Lovers, east of Inwood, north of Mockingbird, and west of Lemon.
What are they calling that area now?
So I've always called it the Bird Streets on the south side of University, and I've called it Greenway Terrace on the north side, because that's actually the subdivision name. But a lot of people call it Elm Thicket.
Right. I've heard that term.
Yeah. Inwood Park. I always just say Bird Streets.
Yeah, it seems like eventually it'll have an identity that everybody calls it, but it's still in transition to some degree.
Yeah, I mean, the people that live there, that have lived there 40, 50 years, I think they go with Elm Thicket. Right. When I sell product, I use Bird Streets or, Lover's Lane Heights. Lover's Lane Heights is what I've called it for years because that's what's on the tax rolls.
Lou, a project that you're working on, I had a conversation, I don't know if you remember, I called you and talked to you about it at one time. It's your project on Forest by the toll road. It's sort of a gated community. How's that coming along?
Very well. I'm not getting a lot of screens flickering. Does that affect anything?
It's not on our end. Is it bothering you, or do we?
No. It's gone back from being able to see y'all now to just that MZ Studios logo.
Oh, guys, can y'all?
Oh, there it is.
Let us know if you see it again.
There you go.
Okay.
Back.
Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you.
The Melshire Park project is, I bought that from the city of Dallas about 4 years ago. It was a site of, it was supposed to be a future library project for the city. The neighbors came out strongly against it, if that tells you anything. I mean, how is that an objectionable use? The library is not exactly an objectionable use.
Yeah.
Just people don't like change, period, right?
Yeah, they don't.
No, they wanted a vacant parking lot, which doesn't really help anybody, right?
Right.
Especially doesn't help the city when they have $4.5 million in bond money that they paid for the library.
Wow.
So I was able to buy it from the city. I rezoned it to single family residential. We got 26 lots in there. We've pre-sold one for $2.25 million.
Awesome.
We're getting close to having the model done, and then we have 3 specs that we're getting underway. Well, 3 of them are about 50% complete.
Yeah, I really love that project, and I think it's going to be a big success. So I'm keeping my eyes on it, and I have clients that need that type of product. So hopefully, I'll be able to get a deal done with you at some point in time.
Yeah, I think gated empty nesters, that's a big demographic, and there's really no product that close in.
Right.
For $2 to $2.5 million that you can get that lock and leave lifestyle. We got some park areas in there, green space. We're going to start at on the south side of the subdivision at $2 million, and then we start on the north side at 2.25. But the model will be open hopefully end of the year, and it'll be great project. We're also working on a similar deal a little farther north that we're trying to get the land entitled and under contract so we can do a similar project.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I don't think there's near enough of that type product right now. As far as demand in the market, do you think that's one of the bigger segments that's underserved, or is there any particular segment that you think's a great opportunity moving forward that you haven't kind of targeted? What are your thoughts on trends?
It used to be that my strongest demo was the first time home buyer or maybe second time home buyer, 1.6 to 1.8. And that has become probably my worst price point right now. A lot of those were stretch buyers that during COVID, rates were at 3.5%, 4%. They were able to finance those deals. Now it's a very weak part of my business, and we're still building it, but it's a lot harder to move than it ever has been.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are stuck in those lower mortgages, and they don't want to get out of it. They have so much more power in terms of just keeping the lower interest rate as opposed to getting rid of that and then doubling the interest rate. You're at 6% right now on the mortgages. So
yeah, 6.1, 6.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing that the lower, I mean, on a 1.5 to 1.8, that's a strong buyer, right? The sub $1 million market is extremely soft. Thankfully, I don't have anything in that price point right now, but I have done townhomes and condos and duplexes, and that is an extremely tough price point to be in right now.
Interesting.
I mean, I've done much better the last year and a half, 2 years on the higher end of the curve, on the 2.5 to 4 million, 5 million, because a lot of those buyers are pretty interest rate. They're not sensitive, and they're putting a lot of cash down, and they know they can refi out of it in 12 or 18 months or whatever it takes. Yeah,
we're seeing that in our business also. The cash buyer, that's a strong market, and it's a great market. I see why you'd want to position yourself in a market like this. But where it becomes the interest rates and people in that price range and even lower, we're seeing the same thing. So it's interesting to hear you say that.
I mean, empty nesters still are using a bunch of cash. That's why we build a lot of our product with the master down, so we can appeal to those buyers. We've also started doing a bunch of homes that are either 1 story or 1.5 story, so we can catch those older buyers that want 2 or 3 bedrooms down.
I think Jen, there's so many baby boomers they've just got all this money and they don't know what to do with it. You're quite a visionary as a builder, and there's a lot of a very positive aesthetic.
I come on this show all the time. I get my ego stroked.
I know. Well, I just adore you. What is your signature? And then we'll close it up.
We try to make them all a little bit different. I try to do elevations that are kind of timeless, so you don't really know if it was built in 2005, 2010, 2020, that, 10, 15, 20 years, you can go back and look at them and say, this home has, stood the test of time. And we're trying not to be really kitschy or trendy on what the exterior looks like. We're building, we're doing a lot of vaulted ceilings now, especially in the family rooms and master bedrooms. People like the more open floor plan. But I've always kind of had an eye for architecture, and had I had the attention span for it, maybe that's something I probably would have gone into.
Do you have a favorite architect?
That I follow or that I do work with?
That you just admired over the years, I guess, for inspo?
McAlpine is a really, really cool architect out of Alabama, or Nashville too. They have offices extremely high end. They do really groundbreaking stuff.
What's that name again?
McAlpine.
Okay, I'll look them up.
Also, there's Scott Hudgens out of Laguna Beach, Hudgins. He does some really cool stuff. And those are 2 of my favorites.
So I was learning about you or whatever. I just Googled you and then watched a podcast that you were on many moons ago. And it said that you started selling T-shirts for your fraternity as your starting kind of entrepreneurship, hustle game.
Yeah.
What inspired your hustle? Oh, I think you said there was just an absence in the market, or you were spending too much and then you wanted to take over. So,
well, I was the T-shirt chair of my fraternity when I was at SMU, and I saw how much we were spending on T-shirts. And we were doing a business with some company, nationwide company, and you'd send in the design, and then they'd ship you the T-shirts. And so I found a local printer, and I got a wholesale account at a distributorship up by the Galleria for T-shirts. And I started doing my own thing. And within a couple of years, I was doing business with most of the fraternity and sororities on campus. I was doing university stuff at the university for Parents Weekend, homecoming, all that kind of stuff. And I think when I graduated, we were doing like 20 or 25,000 t-shirts a year.
That's amazing. You've just always had an instinct for business and how to make hustle and how to be successful. Not everybody's born that way. So that's pretty cool.
It's, it's not even at this point, it's really not even about the money. It's more about, I like doing deals, and that's kind of like the high I chase is the next deal.
That's really cool.
So what's your eye on next?
We're starting to do a lot more development, especially in the suburbs, not necessarily residential, but we're doing commercial pad deals. We're buying acreage and then chopping it up and, selling pads to McDonald's and 7-Eleven and Starbucks and, all those kind of users. And then doing some mixed use stuff out in Fort Worth. I'm getting ready to develop townhomes and some retail and some garden office, but trying to get into more development. It's a lot more creative and a lot fewer hands to touch. When we're doing a home, it takes 50 or 60 trades touch that home during the process, along with homeowners and realtors and all that stuff. Where when we're developing, we're only dealing with really a commercial broker or two, a lawyer, a engineer, and a sub developer, which.
Right, and then they have to deal with all the other.
Yeah, right.
You hand it over.
Yeah, we're just replatting land, selling pads, maybe pulling utilities, but we don't have 50 subs and that we have to deal with.
So why you like commercials? Why I got out of it? It was less. There was like household, traffic counts, what side of the highway the shopping strips on, and what I loved about residential is it's an emotional purchase. It's like you're helping someone with their, and yeah, I can tell. Yeah, there's a lot less like human emotional BS that you have to deal with in commercial. So I can see that it's a cleaner cut.
Much, yeah. I think what you just said about the residential, the emotional is probably actually your best buyer is an emotional buyer because they become vested in the product.
Oh, they'll do anything for it.
The hardest buyer to deal with is somebody who I actually was dealing with a reload today, and they're fixed. They don't really care about the house. They're fixated on price per foot, and we're not going to come to terms because you can't just look at everything on as comparing apples to apples when products aren't the same.
Are you ready? I mean, Dallas is now one of the financial hubs, Y'all Street. I mean, what does that look like for your landscape? Are you going to have to hire more team members? What's going on there?
We've been consistently growing the past few years. We did over 80 million last year.
Wow.
We're gonna be down a little bit this year just because of market conditions, but we hope to break 100 million next year.
Awesome.
And we're ramping up to have definitely our biggest production year next year in 26. I think at some point, I don't know if it's going to be first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, but I think if past this prologue that this market at some point in the next 12 months is going to snap like a rubber band. And at one point, all the buyers are going to rush back in and there's not going to be enough product.
Exactly.
And you're going to see something similar to you did in COVID.
Right.
Maybe not to that extent, but you're definitely going to see a bunch of people that are on the fence all rush in, and there's just not going to be enough product, and they're going to push prices.
We like it when you talk dirty on the show.
Yeah, talk dirty to us, Lou.
I could be wrong, but I would bet, I've bet millions and millions of dollars that that's what's going to happen. I did the same during COVID, and it worked. I don't know that I'm going to be right twice, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, well, it seems like to me we are going through a little slower time, but that rubber band analogy, I love that. I'm going to remember that and use it. But it seems like things are setting up for, a really big boom. And this little lull we're having right now, I think it has somewhat to do with the interest rates. People eventually will get tired of where they are. That's going to spur some more demand. Plus, the whole city of Dallas just seems to be getting set up for more and more jobs, more and more businesses coming in. And the demands just is there, it's going to be there.
You got all those Goldman Sachs reloads coming in the next year and a half. I think what happened in New York last week or earlier in the week, the other day.
Yeah, right.
Is going to be a benefit to Texas and Florida. People escaping high tax states for no income tax states. Dallas definitely doesn't help us on the property tax front, but saving money, not paying income taxes, is a definitely benefit for companies that want to relocate. JP Morgan's opening a headquarters here. So I think there's definitely going to be some of that reload is going to start again that we haven't seen in the last few years.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's got to happen. There's too many jobs coming in. What is it, like 4,500 people working in that Goldman Sachs Center? That's something we're going to cover on the show.
Yeah, and those are all high income earners, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they should be. And they've got a whole sector that, as we're doing research for the show, that I didn't really know about. But south by the convention center, the Cedars and all that south area, they're revamping and doing a big high-rise project, and they're trying to create education. They're trying to plant the seeds, the happy meals of future home buyers with education in the high-tech industry, and they're really focusing on that a lot in the development in the future for Dallas. I mean, I think it's extremely bright when you look at all the different things going on around the town.
Well, the Cedars, that's been a kind of a transitioning neighborhood the past several years. It got off to a pretty good push in the, pre-COVID, and then it kind of slowed down the last couple of years. But, high-speed rail is going to terminate there from Houston. So I definitely think that's a pocket that, could develop. And due to land prices being fairly reasonable over there, I think you're going to see a lot of live-work, fairly economical places to live down there.
Yeah, and Reunion's getting redeveloped with the Hunt family. That's another big project. I mean, there's just one project after the other. The more I look, the more I find. I think you could see a new Mavericks deal somewhere. If they don't go to Irving, Las Colinas, you could see a Mavericks deal somewhere on Riverfront. I think you're going to see a lot in the next several years in North Oak Cliff, between Colorado and the Levee. There's a developer that has a ton of land down off a riverfront, that could be Matthews, I think is the name of the group.
Yeah, Jack Matthews, yeah.
I mean, there's tons of potential there, and he's a great developer. So something big's going to happen there for sure. No question about it. And that's all, everything we're talking about is very close. They're all close by. Mm-hmm. And then you've got this park, the city park that,
Clyde Warren.
Well, no, yeah, Clyde Warren's great. It's already here, and it's not the future, it's now, right? But I'm talking about things that are just around the corner.
Yeah, Simmons Park on
right.
Beckley. I own a bunch of stuff right on Beckley.
Right.
And I think that's going to be a huge benefit to the West Dallas is having that multi-acre park. I don't know the exact acreage, but it's going to be quite impactful over there. Also, the Belmont's got a couple offers on it to be redeveloped in West Dallas.
Awesome. When is that happening? I didn't hear about that.
I think you'll see something in the news probably within the next 6 months.
So cool.
Best view in town, as far as I'm concerned. It's just an amazing.
It's so beautiful.
We don't have a mountain range, but we've got our skyline.
Exactly.
And that is the place to see it from.
It's true.
Yeah. What are your top 5 iconic, Dallas places? When you think of Dallas, placemaking.
Are we talking about restaurants? Are we talking about just places in general? Or?
Wherever you want to go and hang.
I would say Reunion Tower.
Yeah. Okay.
Would be mine.
Two different things there.
I think Reunion Tower, was great before it stopped spinning.
Mm.
And I know why it stopped spinning, but I don't, was
it too expensive?
No, it's actually, I probably shouldn't say why, but
do it.
Do tell.
I'm not gonna say how I heard, but a patron's arm got caught in the turning.
No, I have no idea.
Yes.
That makes sense.
And after a lawsuit, it does not turn anymore.
Yeah.
I went there for Mother's Day when I was a young girl, and I lost my napkin because it. I didn't
Jenny,
lose
you're
an
still
arm,
a young girl.
but I lost my napkin. It was across the other side of the restaurant because it was when it spun.
Yeah,
better that than your arm, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, not my arm, just my napkin. But yeah, I just like the way it lights up.
Any other places come to mind when you think of your iconic Dallas places, or I think.
I'm a kind of a creature of habit. I'm a Javier cigar bar guy.
Love it.
Yeah, good place.
So that's kind of like my favorite place.
That's
I love
fantastic.
SMU athletic events. As long as I've lived in Dallas, which is now 30 years, I've never lived more than a mile and a half from SMU.
Did I hear on the sports news they're about to give he deserves it, the coach, a big raise, or I think he did. They just did, didn't they?
They just signed him to a 7-year extension, and it made him one of the top 10 highest
top
paid.
10. Yeah.
All right, so everyone loves a comeback story. America's comeback story. It's awesome.
He's going to need a nice new house.
I know.
Yeah,
just the guy.
He was already making several $1,000,000 a year, so I think he's probably.
You think he's covered there?
Yeah.
What do you like to do for fun? I have just a more of a general fun question. When you're not busy being a fantastic entrepreneur, what are things you like to do in Dallas?
I like to travel outside of Dallas. I like to go to California and I like to go like Montecito area.
Mm-hmm.
I have a place in Miami. I like to go there. I love going to sporting events. I do a bunch of Mavericks games. I go to all the Cowboys home games, some Cowboys away games, all the SMU football, some SMU basketball. I like to try new restaurants and then go to a lot of the same restaurants over and over again because I feel comfortable there and, going to the same places and it's consistent and I'm kind of a creature of habit.
Awesome. Other questions?
Yes. Let's see. What's your advice? Your takeaway from your life lived? I mean, not that you would regret it, assuming no regrets, what's your life lesson?
I think I learned the most when I was working at Merrill Lynch for 5 or 6 years is I performed definitely in the top 10% of what I was the team I was on or the who I was working with, but I never really enjoyed it. It was a paycheck. It was something to do. Out of college, I didn't, I maybe had $10,000 saved. So it's not like, there's a lot of, I didn't have a family business that I could walk into. I didn't have a trust fund or any of that. So, I had to get a job out of college but I did that 5 or 6 years and I realized, hey, if I ever want to become extremely wealthy in the future, working here is not going to do it because I really wasn't in love with in finance. And once I started doing some real estate deals, I kind of realized that not only did I have a knack for it, I really enjoyed it. And I think that's the thing that most people don't, I'm fortunate that I found that. And I think the hardest thing about a career is finding something that you love to do and the money will come. It took me a long time as a real estate developer and builder to really start making a good income. For the first 4 or 5 years, I was making less than $100,000. But once you get a tailwind and you figure out what you're doing, it is easy to hockey stick up from there. But having a passion for what you're doing and worrying about that first, the money will come if you love what you're doing and you're good at it. You can't worry about the money on the front end.
That's really good advice. Thank you, Lou. And thank you for coming tonight. We so appreciate you and your time. And we'd love to have you again in the future.
You're our first interview, so you're
I love that.
Always going to be very special to this podcast.
Yeah.
And a lot of great stuff. We really appreciate your time. And, I got to say, I admire what you're doing. I remember seeing your signs popping up. And one day I was just like, who is this Olerio guy? I think I was at a realtor open house and I went in and then some realtor just filled my ear full, a fellow realtor about what all you were up to. And I was like, wow, I got to meet that guy sometime. And
it's really funny. A few years ago, a guy came into one of my open houses and he said, I know your dad. And I said, really? I said, that's weird. He lives in New Hampshire. How do you know him? He goes, no, I've talked to him on the phone. I said, no, you've talked to me. You didn't talk to my dad.
Oh, how funny. Were you like, oh man, I feel old? Yeah.
No, I think he thought he was too young to be that guy.
At the time I was 30 something, and I think he was surprised that I wasn't some old guy.
That's what I'm saying. You're like the super kid. You're kind of like a superstar. Yeah.
I'm getting old now. I'm almost 50, Jen.
No, you're not. You look so good. 50's nothing.
We're all almost 50.
I'm 48. Yeah. Yeah. You look so good.
Yeah, I'm almost 50.
All right. And then we've been talking about the spirit of giving. So what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for second chances. I am grateful for being at a point in my life where I can do what I want and not, money is really not something I concern myself with and like paying my rent, paying, gas for my car, paying to go to dinner because in my 20s, I was in a situation where things, in 07, 08 and 9, like the real estate market was bad, and I was just trying to get it under my feet. And financial stress is by far the worst stress of any stress, and I'd never want to be in that position again. And I kind of live my life a lot more conservatively than I probably could, because I don't want to feel that.
I did too. Yeah. I think it's smart. Why show? Yeah. I think it's smart.
Well, we are thankful for you.
We're thankful for you, Lou.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
And we'll have to all go out and have a cocktail someday.
Yeah. We'll take
Anytime you want to go to Javier's, I'm happy to walk across the street.
Yeah, seriously,
All
we
right.
would love that. We'll do that soon.
I love all Vandelay's martinis.
Yeah.
We already went through that. but,
Yes,
yeah.
that was the first episode. Anyway, thanks a lot, man. We appreciate
Thanks, Lou.
it.
We'll
and,
see you soon at
yeah,
Javier's.
all the best to
All
you
right.
as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. That was great.
Our first interview.
Yay, our first interview.
And how are our eyes doing?
Do they look
Whoa,
different?
look
I
at
mean,
Jenny.
whoa, look. Oh my
Me?
gosh, it looks
Can you
really
see
good.
Can you see?
Yes.
That's your left one.
This one. This one. No, I can tell his right one's open.
His right.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell
And
mine? Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks
Yeah.
like you got surgery.
Really.
And you didn't need it. That's the thing, is like you don't even need it, but it looks so good.
Wow, man.
I mean, I can tell on Bill. You can't? I can.
You can tell on Bill. I thought
I
you
can
could
tell.
You can tell.
I'm going to tell on Bill. Yeah.
Please don't.
I don't know. It's not as noticeable.
Oh, it's so noticeable on you.
on yours.
It is so
can-
noticeable.
Big
Yeah.
time on Jenny.
And I can
Really?
feel it. I can feel my eye like,
And how long does
bugging
it
out.
last?
you're like, great. I'll worry. I'll fix you. You want it in the other one now?
I need the other one
Yeah.
out too.
Done.
Yeah.
Balance
full
me
movie
out.
star. Yeah. Well, that was fun to have an interview. That's a milestone.
Yeah.
and
He's great. He's great.
He's an amazing guy.
This is the Spirit of Giving gala season. So gala season in Dallas starts in September and it goes till about January with a few little outliers in the spring. But so it's November. So we've missed some. We missed the Cattle Baron Ball.
Mhm.
That just happened.
I've never been, but I like the long fancy dresses, not the short ones with boots. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a different style deal.
It's a different
Western.
style, but
If
Western
you're like
theme.
me and you want to dress up, my favorite is Crystal Charity because it's a different theme every year. It's like they put so much into the set. It's like beautiful.
yeah, Crystal Charity Ball.
Oh, by the way, while you're talking about Cattle Baron, you know who they had this year is Post Malone.
Yeah, they do. They bring in the best
They bring
talent.
in great
Yeah.
acts. I mean, it's just unreal. And one other thing I'd like to mention about Cattle Baron is Jackie Wynn was one of the founders.
Yes,
And
bless
she
her
was
soul.
she was a realtor. She passed away last month, and I remember her very
I do
well
too.
from the real estate business. She had that kind of smoky, gravelly voice.
you doing? Yeah.
Hey, what are you up to?
Hey, Jen.
But she had that long, pretty black hair.
Beautiful.
But she was so gracious always, and such a sweet person, and very open, and made people feel comfortable. And obviously, she did an amazing event along with another woman, last name Hunt. I'm not sure what her first name was.
I don't either.
And she was married to Todd Lee Wynn, who was a famous oil man from Texas. The Wynn family, they did Six Flags. They created Six Flags over Texas. He was involved in all that. He was a really interesting man. And then is it Shannon Wynn, Angus Wynn, or the two sons?
And yep, exactly. And one of them does Flying Fish.
Right,
And
yeah.
Hudson House, Shannon.
And Shannon did
okay.
he did a ton of stuff like back in the 80s and 90s, when he was young and hip and cool. Not that he's not hip and cool still, but he was sort of the impresario of all the cool places to go at night. Like when I was, just out of college and that sort of thing. And I mean, those were iconic places.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I just wanted to recognize her. She was such a sweet person. And Cattle Barons.
And it raises lots of money.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it's
like
huge.
the
For heart
trajectory of
association, right?
cancer.
No, cancer.
Oh, it's
cancer.
Cattle Barons is cancer?
No,
I thought
It
it was
is.
for the heart.
No, cattle
No.
bands is cancer.
Cancer.
And
Oh.
it's like you see like how the treatment of cancer has progressed 20 years ago to now. It's phenomenal. I mean, they give you a pill. It's not a death sentence anymore. And it's such a beautiful thing. You see these fundraisers and you're like, well, what's it really going to? Well, we're seeing it and it's really neat.
Yeah, that it is true.
Mhm.
My mom is fighting cancer right now. Jen's mom is lucky enough to take a pill.
Yeah, she's got the kind that is,
to live with cancer. Can't have enough research, can't have enough doctors. So.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I found on that the red. Maybe we're going to talk about this, but the red tie gala, I didn't know what that was.
I don't either.
Well, it's cancer again, but it's for the it's funds to help people, like emotional support and how to get through it. It's
That's
more
really needed.
It's not so much fighting the disease as it is psychologically coping with it and supporting families.
That's phenomenal.
I had no idea what that was about, but that's a very neat. I mean, it's nothing more stressful.
Oh my gosh!
Like I have a good friend that's going through cancer right now, and he almost died a few weeks ago, and he's doing okay now, or doing better, stabilized. Yeah. But it's so much to go through.
It is.
And we've all been touched by that. I had friends or family. So
my youngest daughter had it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't attacks anyone it can. Right.
I know. When I heard that she was fine, that they got it and all her margins were clear and everything, it's like I vomited.
Oh, honey.
Because the stress just leaves your body because you're under a certain amount of weight.
And that's your mom.
I was like, bleh, bleh.
When you get used to it and you don't realize till you get the relief.
Right. And then you get to, So, yeah. Praise Jesus. Sylvie's good. I mean, she's good. 18 in college, living her best life, but she's a sweetie. But but it's stressful and took a
modern medicine.
Yeah, it took a toll, and we didn't do counseling. We probably should have, but I remember she was angry. She was so angry afterwards, and then I say, Sylvie, you can't live at a 9. Because it doesn't take long to get to a 14 when you're living at a 9. Like, we've got to bring you down to a 2. So
when was she so angry? During it?
No, afterwards.
She had cancer?
Why?
Yeah.
And why was she angry afterwards?
And so I say, Sylvie, what happened? She goes, well, you tell me I'm going to the doctor's appointment, and then all of a sudden I'm dying. She's like, because she was taking everything that wasn't a big deal, but it was becoming the biggest deal. So, like, a change of plans would set her off to a 12, because...
What kind of cancer did she have?
She had melanoma, which is not a big deal when it's like in grown-ups, but it's a genetic mutation in children, and genetic mutations are the most aggressive. She was 9.
Oh my gosh. How did you notice it?
Well, it was like a mole, and it like grew a nose, changed colors, like turned into like a human on her back. And I was like,
it kept getting bigger.
Yeah. When they say look for changes in a mole, like that's no joke. Like
you didn't miss that one, right?
It was serious. And Mom was like, put dental floss on it and smother it and suffocate it. Anyway, so that didn't work. It kept growing back. It was a genetic mutation in children. We'd have like all these doctors go, oh, we want to look at it. This is so interesting. It never happens to people. But it's just there's no reason why, but she was angry, and we had to say, just because one thing bad happened doesn't mean life is always going to exasperate to life and death scenarios. Exactly. Like, bring it down a little, bring it down a little, baby girl. Like that was like, So even though like the relief that it was gone it was still kind of, so the emotional of what, the burden plays on who has it, and then the family.
Everyone, it's a ripple effect.
And the siblings like laughed it off, which offended her because she's like, they don't care if I die. They think it's funny, but they were doing it as like a coping mechanism, like it. You just so then that affected her. So everything.
It affects everybody.
Yeah, it affects everybody. So it's nice that that's there.
Yep.
And we already talked about Catholic Charity or Crystal Charity Ball. And I think we're going to have your sister next time.
Yeah, we'll have my sister.
And then you'll go to the ball. So we'll pictures of you at the ball.
Amy Hagee, who's involved in it and has been for a number of years.
A lot of years. And it's a passion for her, helping children's charities. She'll be on to talk about it on our next
She'll be a great guest.
She will.
And then the art ball. I love Art Fair Week that the DMA puts on. Mm-hmm. And I've always gone to the preview party, which is not a fundraiser. It's just a cocktail party where you get to preview all the art. But then the art ball used to be in April, but now the DMA art ball this year, for whatever reason, was in the fall. So part of the gala season in October.
And that raises money for the DMA?
Mm-hmm. And the national,
That's awesome.
So, and then the DSO, the symphony has it in October. So now the DMA has it in October. The SPCA I put on there because you love your fur babies. And,
I love my animals. Oof.
Yeah. I think all my cats have been adopted or found. And I've had pet store dogs. I've had SPCA dogs. I've only had one breeder dog. It was my least
No
favorite
judgment.
dog.
I mean, everyone's
but
got
I
to do
love
what's
a
best for them.
SP. Yeah,
What-
I love recycled dogs.
You
That's
answered the question about what would be your like number one if you could create a charity or something. Did you answer that? That's right when the interview.
I already have it in mind.
What did you? Did you tell us? I can't
No,
remember.
it's mine is just kind of using art and garden. I want to have a flower farm.
I love
And
that.
I want to
Jenny.
have a flower
That's so
farm where
you.
people can just go and be in nature. And then you have like, have you ever been to a place where there's like the walkable skyline within the trees and then they light it all up and then there's like sculpture gardens in there. And then I want to have like a workshop room where I have like chefs doing long table dinners and then artists coming, like teaching like different skill sets and then a lot of tiny homes. And people can just like stay there for the day and like just pick flowers, take a workshop, go to the long table dinner. And it's just like everything that's therapeutic, because like putting your hands in the dirt is therapeutic.
It is like
grounding
to
creativity,
nature.
any like creativity. Like when I lost, my boyfriend that died, then all I did was paint for 2 months. My kids were like, "What's wrong with mom?" But it's like, and I always say it's because like in my relationship, I got to see all the colors and then the colors weren't there.
Yeah.
So like bringing those colors back to life was like really like therapeutic for me. And so it's just like it's just like a way of just bringing out that side that, is maybe stifled. And so it's not like to help it's just to help people.
Mhm.
Put your feet in the dirt, put your hands in the dirt, get a little messy with paint. And then maybe just eat a nourishing meal.
Yeah.
And so I just want different levels, like to where you maybe help groups like women or help, groups like, well, I kind of thought about the idea the first time because my mother-in-law had Alzheimer's and that's like another silent, economic.
It's the long goodbye.
But they want to be a part of things, but they don't remember.
Yeah.
So if you just show up and then they give you a paintbrush, there's no right or wrong with art.
Right.
Like go and just be yourself and be silly. And then you like have something to like give to someone else. And it's like,
I'm thinking like the,
form of expression.
Yeah. Where they're doing the Trinity Park, I think it's the Simmons, I can't remember the exact name for it, but what Lou was talking about earlier. That would be a perfect place to do something like that.
Yeah, I want it like, I kind of like Boughton Farms is cool. And that's in by the farm or by the fairgrounds. It's down there and their food's so good. And now they have like.
I thought of that when you were talking about this.
I like that. That one's a little more volunteers do it. And then they have like the pigs. I just don't want to mess with poo. And so, but I want to like still kind of have that farm thing. I don't want to mess with poo. Like I'm all about bunnies and free range chickens.
That's what the volunteers are for.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no, I wouldn't want anyone to do anything I was unwilling to do. But but flower, I mean, I would plant all day, have bunnies and chickens free roaming around.
Maybe
and that
you just
sort
need
of
to
thing.
have a farm. Or,
You just have one donkey, and I think you don't have to pay taxes.
Really?
You get like that farm tax or
you have to
something.
be on
I just
more
need
than an acre.
I just
Okay,
need,
you
I
need
just
a
more than
donkey?
an anchor and a donkey,
Or a big.
we're
Did y'all
good.
know a big heavy
We're
car
good.
as a tax write off? I didn't know that.
A big heavy car,
Like those
an SUV?
Mercedes G wagons. That's a tax write off. Did you know that?
That's ridiculous.
Well, they put
but
them-
I hear they're rough rides.
Yeah. And
Not
if you have
interested.
a dog
I like smooth.
and it's in any way an alarm system for you, that's a tax write off for 2025.
What's that again?
A dog. And it in any way helps with security. I mean, if your dog
mine
barks,
does.
then
mine
that's
will
a tax
eat
write
you
off.
up.
That's a tax write off.
My dog.
If you have a home office,
My SPCA Albuquerque pound dog.
yes, your pit mix. Yeah, he is. He's quite
pit
scary.
mix will
Yeah,
eat you out.
I've got girly girl dogs,
Yeah,
but I mean a
you-
dog. I have a cat and a dog, and I rescued the Pomeranian Husky. I mean,
I guess Spencer's earning his keep.
yeah, he is. Yeah,
With a tax write-off.
yeah.
Well, as we get toward the end, one thing that I don't really have time to go into right now, but I do want to, I have some great ideas about just talking about different developments, not just
Awesome. I love
there-
developments. I love real estate.
There are these huge, I mean, they are just, they'll blow your mind when we talk about it. There are these colossal projects. I spilled the tea a little bit on that with Lou, about on the south side of town, but we'll do some deep dives into those. We'll probably start with the Goldman Sachs campus and center, but, we're getting late enough in the broadcast that we don't really have time to go into it.
True.
We
We will do that.
Yeah.
I will say that real estate's picking up right now.
It is. It is.
If
picking
you're
up
thinking
big
about
time.
buying,
I know my little apartments I wanted are both gone, but now there's another one.
There'll be more.
First floor.
Oh, good. That's even better.
I know.
Yeah, well,
Super
I think things are going to move quite a bit from now through 1st of December, and we've seen 3 big deals in our office that are $2 million plus deals. Like Lou was talking about, the upper end market where people have a lot of cash is still doing pretty
Really
well.
well.
But then $1.6 million to $1.8 million is not by any means a low price property.
It's not.
But those people were mortgaged out, and they can't afford to make a move right now.
Right.
With these higher interest rates, you double your P&I right now.
Yeah.
It's something we keep hitting and talking about. But I don't know about you, Jim, but I'm going to be busy showing property all weekend.
Me
Hopefully
too.
get some deals done. So that's a good sign because people have been putting it off like they always do with all the fall.
Waiting.
And
What's
look at all
next?
these charity events. That, people have a lot of stuff to do during this time of year, but there's this little gap before Thanksgiving, before all the family celebrations.
It's called the turkey hustle.
The turkey hustle. Yeah, I like that.
What is that? Oh, yeah, I do the turkey trot too. I
You do?
forget what
How
the turkey
fun.
trot benefits. I just started that a couple years ago. Charlie and I did that, and it's just silly and fun.
And your
but
kids do
last
it with you
year,
too?
Ainsley was pregnant, and she has no concept of time. So we were so late. We just cut through the whole thing, went through the finish line, and then went to the breakfast.
Oh, how fun.
So I did not do any running. I just
Good.
But
That's
that
my kind.
benefits something. Does it just benefit the Y?
I think so. And the
Oh,
city
okay.
of Dallas, it's just something to.
I think it probably is the why. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, it'd be a worthy reason to do it. That's a fun run.
It's such a fun
It is,
run.
and you can dress up. My dog's not okay to take in public, but I like that everybody dresses up their
There's
dog,
animals,
and then
yeah.
it's super cute.
Anything else you want to mention?
I was just gonna let's see, St. Jude Eating Under the Stars, just another one for Children's Hospital there. I have not been to that. I used to go to. I have been to the House of Diffa, which is for
Yeah, me
AIDS,
too.
and it is fun. I mean,
I was in the runway
I just
show
like
one
looking.
year.
Oh,
Mhm,
really?
mhm.
Yeah, the entertainment was good. Kristen Chenoweth
So
was
good.
the host
I love her,
when
yeah.
But like
went
other
there.
diseases, like in the progression of science, they've got AIDS under control.
well,
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
it's like
can-
a pill,
yeah.
like the leukemia.
yes, it's not a death sentence anymore.
Yeah.
Which is so great.
it was a very, it's still just an amazing event. And I'm not sure, can't really comment on what you're talking about, but there's no question, people, I mean, so much progress was made. It was a death sentence when,
it was.
back in the
80s
80s and 90s,
yeah.
and I knew a lot of people that passed away during that time. Now they have this great fashion show that kind of got it under control, but I don't want to take it so
But
far.
still
as-
raise money.
yeah, to say it, they ought to give some money to something else or something like that. But it's kind of an interesting point though, is these diseases get conquered. Some of
Yeah.
these events have a way of not being in as high demand, and that's part. Who knows? There'll be some other thing out
It's
there.
the human spirit. It's we push us down, we get up stronger.
When
right?
life will always throw you something too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's how you handle it. It's not what happens. It's how do you handle it? How do you get up, dust off, get back on the horse and ride?
Yeah. And anything else you?
I haven't been to the Catholic Charities Bishop Gala. It happens in January, but I used to go to the one in Albuquerque.
Are you Catholic, or?
I am Catholic, and the bishop will get up and say something motivational. Now, today I was looking because I always keep it in my notes or whatever, but it just like leaves you and makes you feel inspired and good. And the last one that I went to in Albuquerque, they had one of those live paintings.
Oh, I love it.
So like the band was playing, I forgot what band it was. And then during the song, then the painters are just like creating, and what they can do in such a short amount of time is just
That's
like,
a performance art.
right. And
Yeah.
then that was part of like the live auction, like later that night or whatever. It was like so good. But I do listen to Father Mike Schmidt. I'm trying to do the Bible in a year. I've been doing it for like 2 years. I still haven't finished the Bible, but Father Mike Schmidt, he has a thing that I can leave us with.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
let's do it.
Fill our minds with what is true, fill our hearts with what is good, and fill our lives with what is beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah, I think
That's some good stuff.
Amen,
that's a
Father.
good way
Until next
to
time.
leave us.
Yeah,
Next
right?
time we'll be doing a ho 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 Merry Christmas.
we'll be talking about Christmas and Crystal Charity.
Christmas
and
Yeah.
lights, Christmas
knows
charity.
what else?
Exactly.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right.
We'll see y'all next time.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, y'all.